Hey again guys, welcome back to the tavern. My name is Shark, and today we're going to be continuing on with our arena draft that we started yesterday. So, as you may or may not remember, we've got our deck down on the right hand side. We followed ADCTWA's, I think that's it, guide on the first 10 picks, and then whilst using our own knowledge as well and trying to work out if our picks match up with that, and then we moved on to just drafting ourselves. I haven't actually gone back and looked to see if any of the picks that I could have made would have not matched the guide. I kind of did it based on where my mana curve was and all those sorts of things. We're currently, at the moment, we're 2-1 with our deck. We're aiming today, the Grandmaster plan is that we're going to get to the 7 wins. Once we get to the 7 wins, then obviously we get to go infinite, which is great. We can do this all again. However, given that I'm not particularly good at Arena, and the last Arena that I did ended in a single win, what we're aiming for, and so we've already doubled win percentage on that. So what we're aiming for really is we're trying to get to at least 4 wins, because that will mean that we earn back our entry, and I think it's about 5 wins. We've got the potential to actually earn enough gold. Now obviously we've got quests to run through. We have a mage deck, so mages are going to be a priority, or mage abilities. So yeah, we're just going to really start from there and get going. So let me just put on some... Okay, let me shuffle these up, and so we can get some music going in the background. So first of all, we're just going to go and have a look at our quests. So obviously we want to continue on and finish off the 60 gold quest today. However, we've got 2 other sets of quests. They're both 40 gold. We kind of want to tick up all of our 40 gold ones into 60 gold ones. And given that we're going to be running mage games anyway, we kind of want to get rid of this mage quest here. Because we can avoid paladin and priest, we can't avoid mage in arena. And unfortunately I get one that I'm going to tick up anyway. Just given the whole thing. So yeah, I mean, as I've said before from yesterday, we're not particularly great on either ranked or on arena wins, 133 and 25. So we haven't been playing it too much. I'm the top 40% in ranked play mode this season, apparently. That's not great. I want to be higher than that. And I've earned a silver key, which is 4 wins. Oh, okay. I thought my best win had been 5 or 6, but apparently it's only 4, so... yeah, that's pretty rubbish. Oh, I thought I'd done so much better than that. Okay, so I guess our goal then really is to beat 4 wins. We want to beat 4 wins. We want to do better based on using a guide and trying to use our knowledge and during gameplay as well. That we want to be able to best the silver key and get at least 1 key higher. So let's jump straight in. Actually, before I jump straight in, I'm just going to familiarise myself with my deck again, just so I mean, it hasn't been very long since I played yesterday, obviously, but I kind of want to know what I'm doing in the deck. So, I mean, yesterday we were talking about how I wanted to do a pretty early aggressive start. I wanted to be laying some of my decent 2 drops and my decent 3 drops to give me board control going into the mid-game. In the mid-game I suffer quite a bit. I have the Violet Teachers, which are kind of like... have been so far Chillwind Yetis, pretty much, given that they pop out another 1-1, so technically slightly better than a Chillwind Yeti. But then, like, my 5 drops are just Salty Dog and this Spiteful Smith, who have done nothing. The Stormpike Commando was pretty much removed, allowed me to punch through some damage the other day, which is pretty good. And then late game, we've got some game-winning or game-ending cards with Dr. Boom and Pyroblast, which can give us a lot of reach very, very suddenly. So this is kind of where we're aiming to get to. We've got decent early game, poor mid game, and then we've got a semi-decent end game. So we're just kind of, given our hero ability as well, we're going to be trying to chip away at them and make sure that we're getting them down to this lower total, just so that we can punch through with our last few things and not get stuck. Yesterday, I had a look back on the match that we lost yesterday and realised how massive a misplay I did. So on one of the turns near the end of the game, my opponent was on 12 life. I had the ability to deal 1 damage with a minion on board, and a single fireball, and I played around the fact that he might have Might of Kings, and he might just instantly turn around and kill me. So I started killing some of his minions. I think I had 2 minions on board, so I could have killed one thing anyway. And I ended up losing that because I just held a Pyroblast in hand, and I never got him below 11 because I didn't have enough to be able to chip him down. I started chipping away at one of my own minions to start popping out more minions, and like really what I should have done is just hit him in the face with the hero power, hit him with the spider. If he had won by turning around with the Might of Kings, then that was going to happen anyway. There was no way I was going to win that. But if it didn't happen, I would have been able to Pyroblast the next turn for the win, unless he had gained some health or something. So I think I need to pay attention to when I've got my Pyroblast. Like, obviously if I haven't drawn it yet, then I don't need to worry about it so much. But if I've drawn it in my hand and I need to use it, I don't want to use it at a point that then makes them kind of go, right, I need to kill this person straight away, or I need to gain up some health or something, or a taunt guy. I kind of want to do it as a 10 damage to the face, but I don't just want to hold it as I've got a 10 damage thing that's going to win the game and not use it as a removal when I would lose the game otherwise. And I need to make sure that I'm kind of calculating that I've got that extra swing on the next turn. I mean, because on the turn that he could have killed me with double Might of Kings, he had to have both of those Might of Kings. He would have left me on 4 life. It would have been very, very difficult for me to win back from that. But I had the Pyroblast, so I should have just gone for it and just kind of seen. But I mean, this is going to change in every single game, so we don't really know what's going to happen. But anyway, let's just jump into our match and we'll see who we're playing. We'll see what our opening hand is. God, this is taking a long time. Okay, we're playing Rogue, which I could never spell. And this is a pretty good early game. Like, we've got multiple options of stuff that we want to do. We can trade up. However, we don't have anything for later turns. Do we want to be able to play one of these on turn 1 and another one on turn 2? Or is it better for us to kind of ship one of them now and we'll draw into it later on? This guy's pretty good because we can turn him into a 5-2. Obviously the hero power means that anything on board could be a problem. So this playing on turn 3 may not be a problem. Yeah, I don't know. This could go either way. I don't really want to draw into my expensive stuff, so I'm probably going to take... Oh look, I'm ticking down. I've not had this before. Let's keep it and see if that causes massive problems later on. Okay, so we'll see what they do on turn 1. Oh, okay. Oh, this early, really? So, we can Mad Bomber and hope for the super swing of value. This dies, this would die, but he would trade this and a dagger into it. I could just Fire Blast and then take 2. I think I'm going to take the risk and let's see what happens. Come on, Mad Bomber. No, that's me. Okay, so that was the worst possible outcome I could have got from that Mad Bomber. Annoyingly. Okay, another 2-drop. I'm going to play this guy because at least then he's not going to be lost unless he trades both the dagger and the... Is it the dagger? Wicked Knife and the Fire String Leader. and then next turn we can drop both of these and see what happens. Okay, I'm not too fussed about spell damage +1. So in theory, he's probably not going to hit the Snow Chugger. He's probably going to increase his weapon power and he's going to crash into my Knife Juggler. However, if he pays various things, then it could be better for me. I mean, if it's a Chillwind Yeti and he doesn't kill any of my guys, then I hopefully go... Oh no, he's going to silence, okay. And he is going to take the freezing pain. Okay, so that guy's silent, so he's now going to trade up regardless. So I'm going to trade him up. And we're going to pile on this guy. So as I said before, our main goal is to get them to about 10 life for turn 10. That is the ideal situation for us, really. Okay, he's holding on to the dagger. So I could Stormpike trade up, crash this guy in. It leaves me with 1 mana left. But this guy's going to start beating down on this guy, and I don't really want that to happen. I'm going to save this. There's a possibility of various things they could have. For example, something like that. Okay, so we're now at the point where we can get this Pyroblast off. We just need 3 more turns to do so. So I'm going to take the opportunity to do that before I forget. I'm going to make some more board presence and draw a card. And then I'm going to draw some more cards for the next few turns, because we're going to be looking at controlling the board now. Flame Strike's going to really help that for the next 3 turns, and then we're going to send off this Pyroblast to his face, as long as he doesn't heal any damage, of course. Wow. That could cause problems. There's Mr. Chillwind. And there's his spare part. Okay. Destroy menu an attack of 7 or more. I really don't want a Flame Strike at this point. Okay, 2 more turns. So this might have been a bit odd for me to do that, but I'm doing this just so... This is my biggest threat, I feel, the Violet Teacher. Maybe it's a bad idea, maybe he can deal 3 damage elsewhere, but it's just so that if he crashed in with the Yeti, he would lose the Yeti, and I don't really mind about losing this Nomish Inventor, really. So many options. Oh, okay. Well played. Okay, I'm left with a 1-1. Okay. Unfortunately, that's almost certainly game now. So I wipe his board. I swing through for the single point of damage. Although, it's very unlikely to matter. I mean, Othering Farseer is a card, which is restore 3 health. Ooh, Antique Healbot. Oh, jeez. Okay, that changes things. Three, 4. Oh wait, but I can do this. Okay, so spell damage plus flame cannon. Get rid of that. Fire off some of these things. Ping him down to 1 again. So you got another one. I wasn't expecting the Antique Healbot. What rarity is the Antique Healbot? Oh, he's an uncommon. Okay, I probably should have expected an Antique Healbot. Okay, and that's game. Go. And there's our 60 gold for the Major Shaman Dominance. And the Meek shall inherit. So what colour key is this now? It's a bronzy kind of wing key. Okay, cool, let's go straight back into the next one and see how we do with that. So, I mean, that last game, possibly I shouldn't have kept 3-2 drops. I think we had a bit of a problem there. But I won that early game. The 2 and the 3 drops are things that are going to carry me through to the later game. Okay, another mage. So I've got a 2 drop, but I don't really want the 4 and 5 drops at this point. Ugh, really? Okay. Knife Juggler or Freezer? This guy trades up, given that he might coin. I mean, if he Frostbolts, I'm in the same place as I would have been anyway. Okay, he doesn't. Not what I wanted. Wanted the extra point of damage to the face. Unfortunately, he's probably going to get a secret. Oh no, no secrets in the deck. Okay. Perhaps I shouldn't have sheeped him. Ah, chugga chugga. Sad times. Okay, but no board, and we're 2 cards down. Oh, there we go. There's the extra thing. So some taunty guys. Ah, cool. Some card draw. Give a friendly minion +1/+1. Okay. Bruh. So he's buffing this to crash into this, almost definitely. So I could play Violet Teacher and 3 random damage. I could do 3 random damage plus the Fireball. Violet Teacher plus charge, crash in here. Spell damage +1, deal 4 damage amongst all minions. I mean, either of these can kill my Wargren, which is not great. However, this gets rid of that guy for a turn. And yes, he might have 2 damage. Who knows if he's got 2 damage. But the idea will be is the next turn I do the charge. I hero power this guy. Hopefully this guy's still alive. He'll take something out. And that's 4 mana, leaving me 3 left to spell damage +1. But he's probably going to have something for this Worgen. Worgen? Worgen. Oh, that guy. Okay. Just think about this a bit more then. That deals 6, but my guy dies, unfortunately. And I can only deal 7 with this. I could get lucky, could not get lucky. So that would be 4, leaving me with 3. Oh god, what is the play here? I want this to pop really and see what I get out of it. Okay, let's do this. Oh no, wait, hold on. Battlecry's not going to work. Okay, that was close. I completely forgot about the charge guy. I lose the ability from this, unfortunately, but I cleared his board and got away with... Okay. Got away with a lot there. Don't have any spells to cast for my Violet Apprentice now. Want to keep this back. This guy dies to Flame Strike, as do both of these. I mean, the fact that he didn't Flame Strike last time... I want to play the guy that survives combat. Maybe I should have cast the Violet Apprentice. I have to remember I can't target this with removal if I draw any. This guy's really good. 1 less, Flame Strike. Okay, no. It's gotta be a Flame Strike. No, if you Flame Strike, you would have Flame Striked over here. Secret. Hold on, why did his... Oh, it was in his hand. Oh, that's a shame. Okay, so that's 7, and then I can deal 1. But I don't want to give him spell damage +1. Secret didn't trigger. Okay. Draw 2 cards. So I can 2/2/2 and get flame struck to death. That was unfortunate. Okay, that's what I suspected. So we will cast the Violet Teacher. Oh, it doesn't survive the Flame Strike. Unfortunately. Given that they can Flame Strike ping. But given that they haven't done that... Oh, there we go. Here we go. Flame Strike. Oh, I hate this card. Oh, okay. Charge Divine Shield. That guy. Okay, so you're wiping my board and going for the face. I really need to draw some spells. Both of these can kill the trades. Like, I'm literally just turtling for a little bit. I just need a couple of turns to just ping down 2 life. I mean, I possibly don't even need that. Who knows? Like, if they don't clear this, then that's it. But yeah, of course, Hero Power. Of course they can clear my board. Oh wait, Big Game Hunter. There's a reason you're in this deck. And let's silence this guy. Every turn I don't close this game out, it's just another turn for them to draw into something that absolutely wrecks me. Especially when they're card drawing constantly every turn. Okay. You got the Flame Strike? No. Okay. Doesn't matter. Except I could Doctor Boom. I'm not Doctor Booming. Okay, so that's 2 Pyroblast wins. Just focusing on that, getting that down. So this is the best key I've ever done. Not really. This is the best key. This is my level of keyness. You know what? I don't think I actually updated my. No, I didn't. I didn't update what I was actually doing today. So apparently I'm brawling at the bar. If you joined, I'm not brawling at the bar. I am arenaing. Another rogue. Okay, Mr. Boom, you can get out. This is not great to play on turn 3. I'm going to get 2 more cards though, and I'm going to draw some. I want an early game. This guy's good, but he's not going to be too aggressive. So do I keep the Arcane Intellect or not? It draws me deeper, but it does nothing. I mean, in theory I could play it on turn 2. It's slightly waste of a turn. I guess put it this way, right? I'm drawing 2 more cards, and I could draw up to 4 cards. Or I could ship this, and I could draw 3 cards. So I'm going to go with the 2 cards to start with, and then we'll see what these 2 cards will be later on. Okay, and we've got some early removal as well, so this is probably good. So, do I want to waste this early? Probably not. Let's get a minion out on the board. We can always hero power next turn and kill a X2 power thing, or if they do an X3 power thing, we can flame cannon. So is it a waste to do this now, though? Probably not. I mean, they'll take 1 damage from this. I can ship a... So if they weapon, they can take out 1 though. So let's clear it. Again, these are kind of the plays where I'm not really sure if I'm doing the right thing. There are certain things that look to me like clearing the minions off the board is a good idea, but I mean that's 4 damage and potentially up to 5 damage that I've just got rid of as a removal. But then again, that was a poor turn 2, turn 3 play, really. I know this guy is going to explode at some point, but again, gets rid of their board, gives me something to start with, start beating down with. They can equip this and pop this, and we get 2 power back out of it, so it doesn't really matter, and they take 2 damage for this, which is fine. And if they play anything else that's a 4-drop, I can probably trade up. I mean, it'll take 2 resources. I say 2 resources. Probably take 1 resource. Oh, okay. Wow. And that's what happens. Okay, fireball to the face. Let's not fireball to the face. So, playing this and then doing some spells seems fine. I mean, there's a lot of things that they can do to remove this, but again, with the Perdition's Blade, I mean, they could just straight up assassinate it. I think this is a decent enough target for an assassinate. Okay, so I replace my 1-1 with a 1-1. So I still haven't played my Arcane Intellect. I'm just trying to, at this moment in time, I'm trying to develop my board. Keep my board up, their board down. Oh, unfortunate. And a Divine Shield, okay. So, kinda want to kill this, but I'm aware of the Perdition's Blade. 6 damage on this guy seems like a waste. Oh wait, hold on. 5 and 1. I'll leave their Divine Shield up for the moment. Again, might not be the best of plans. I'm now getting to the fact that this could deal 7 damage in a turn, so I need to make sure that I'm paying attention to their life. Oh, Sea Giant. So, this is 7 damage. This knocks them down to 10. However, this Sea Giant's going to be a problem. However, I could just drop my own guy. Or I could draw some cards. See what I draw. Okay, so we're just playing again like the super aggressive game. Their mid to end game, I mean their end game is coming out now with this Sea Giant. The idea hopefully is if they can't clear my board, these 2 minions are going to get them into lethal range, or these two minions if they're still around. If they're around, so either one of these or these two. Now, that's probably not going to happen. I've got no idea what they could do because I'm really bad with the with the rogue mass removal. Breathing in water. Bad idea. So he costs 3? 5. And there we go. We survived the turn with enough dudes to just smash face. Okay, sweet. We're now up to a key that I've never got up to. We've got up to the 5-win mark, which has never happened before, so I'm happy with that. We're also at 120 gold, which means that probably anything that comes out of this key is going to be enough for us to do another arena run after this, so I'm pretty happy with that so far. We are probably going to also hit this 40 gold as we go. I don't know if I'm getting 10 gold from the wins, or is that just normal, casual and ranked? So what I'm going to do is, I've just run out of water and I've now managed to choke loads on the water. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly go and get another drink, and I'm just going to leave you with some music and a quick scene. So I'll be back very, very shortly. Don't go anywhere. See you in a minute. Okay, I'm back. I've got the water. I've ceased to be choking on said water, and I've also managed to got chocolate, so I'm all happy. And what we're going to do is we're going to carry on with our arena run. We've got 5 wins. Happy with 5 wins. As I said, best I've ever done. But we're going to carry on, and we're going to see if we can keep on going. And we're going to now change our goal to be 7 wins. I know we could say 6 wins, 7 wins, etc. But we're going to go straight for the 7 wins, because that means we've technically gone infinite on this run, which is great. Plus, we're going to make gold from our missions, etc. Sorry, there's 7 chocolate in my fridge. Tasty chocolate. Okay, so another rogue. Again, we want early game stuff to do on the earlier turns. Turn 4 is not early. Mad Bomber's good. We enjoy having a Mad Bomber, although he seems to be fairly inconsistent when we play him. Okay. This is a fairly boring hand currently. Like, we don't have much. We have no choices, right? We've got turn 2, turn 3, turn 4, turn 5. Regardless of what they play. We could get lucky here. We could get unlucky. Come on, Mad Bomber. Show me some luck. We've got 3 targets. That's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. You fucking idiot. That couldn't have gone any worse. He didn't even do 1 damage to them. Lucky fish. Come on, lucky fish. I should have got you beforehand. I know what I want to do. If these all go to the flipping face. Oh, you fuckers. Yeah, get rid of my dude. Player 2 guy. Oh no, okay. We're on the back foot here quite a lot. They have card advantage, 6-4. We're trading even on health, but they've got a weapon and a dude, and we've just got a dude, and they've got the initiative on this turn, which is not going to help us at all. Oh, alright, okay. Flame Strike helps us, but in a long, long time. This will leave you with 3 health. Which I'm going to avoid doing. Oh, you still have the weapon. This depends on if they want to trade in any of their guys, right? So, I mean, this guy was probably the better choice. I mean, if my my Wargren survives, he can go crash, crash, die. Gonna give it 3 attack. There we go. 2 attack, not 3 attack. Goes to 3 attack. Okay, that's fine. I kind of want to be flame striking, but so 3, 4, 5, 6. mean, let's assume that they know to play around Flame Strike. Let's assume that they know how to play around Flame Strike, and if they play around Flame Strike, then there's nothing much we could have done. Of course, they could just cash in all of their guys on my one guy. Okay, I'm fine with that. Right. I'm going to be a bit behind on board. Depending on what I draw now. 3-drop? No, no 3-drop. Oh, but I can silence. But you trade... Ah no, I won't be behind on board. I know Death Rattle and that guy is pretty good, but he's 4-5. None of my guys are going to trade for that. Again, a 4-5. Silencing this guy's bad. Ah, the Apprentice. I'm happy with the Apprentice. And I will buff the Apprentice as well. Okay, so I think, is this the second one I've played this game already? Or was that last game? I can't even remember anymore. Fine by me. What? What was that thing? Flippin' heck. Okay, we've got the Pyroblast. We just need to deal... How much damage? 7. They've got 3 cards in hand and a weapon. I really want to claim back some board, but playing this means they just crash into it. Playing this is terrible, so let's just Flame Strike. They've probably been baiting it out for a while, but there's not much we can do about that. It's just unfortunate, really. I mean, we've got one of our win conditions. We could draw Dr. Boom. We've got a load of cards left in my deck. I've got some card draw that could dig us a bit deeper. This thing, God, what a ridiculous combo. Okay. Equipping a new weapon? Or he's still choosing. There we go. Six damage plus 10 damage. Now, I'm hoping what they do is they go, this thing needs to be killed now. Oh, they had a heal bot. And that thing still needs to be killed? Same cost. Okay. Jeez, this is not looking good. It's 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, that. Oops. Okay. Again, stuff reverses all the time. Okay, they're not healing anything. They're not killing me either. I'm sorry. Well played. Okay, so we don't even need the Pyroblast. Alright, 6 wins. So we're now up to 1 win off our next goal, which is 7 wins. Alright. Really slow. Okay. There are a lot of rogues here. A lot of rogues. Okay. Okay, this guy's 3 mana. But he's 3 mana late game. I really don't want to draw him early because he uses the 4-2. So I'm going to take the risk and draw 3 cards. Oh, jeez. Okay, great. I've got my win condition in hand. I have some removal. I now have the charge guy. I could play him this turn. And I could trade up with him next turn. However, given I've got a 6 drop and a 4 drop, I probably want to be saving the coin for those guys, right? I mean, if I don't use the coin until later in the game, it's a waste. But this guy is going to die to a sword regardless, so I may as well not waste the coin on him, right? What card back is that? The Krukulisk. Oh, Dr. Boom, drawing lots of late game stuff. So now do I wait? Drop Dr. Boom on turn 6? Turn 6, turn 7. Or do I kill the injured Blade Master? I've got a 4 drop. I've got some 4 drops coming out now. Let's, unfortunately, go down in card advantage. Lose the initiative, obviously, because the initiative goes back to them. My opponent. Elmo! I'm just imagining that I'm now playing Elmo from Sesame Street. Hey, Mr. Rogue! Sorry, Mr. Mage? Okay, you're keeping your weapon. I'm gonna draw a card. On an empty board, drawing a card seems fine. I don't want to be putting too much pressure on. I mean, I could have I'm so bad at this. Could have laid this and then frozen them, and they would not be attacking with that weapon for the rest of the game. Well, for the rest of the time that this minion survives, right? Silencing it worth it? Probably not. But playing anything else seems bad. 6 next turn gets me through. I'm going to assume that they're either holding on to this so that they can chip away at my minions once they get down to 1 health, or any 1 health minions that I play, and they were just kind of keeping it back for that, or they've got the blade explodey thing and they've got a what's it called in hand as well. Oh no, it looks like they are just going for the Okay. Oh, 6 damage. No. So I was offered this thing in the draft, and I didn't think it was very good. And I still don't think it's very good. It's just so slow, and it deals 2 damage. Like, yeah, okay, it gets good. Is that to a random enemy minion? That's a shame. And here he comes. Mr. Boom himself. Probably should have thought about it a little bit better, but... Why think about things when you can just explode them? So, I mean... What could I have done? I've got no spells, so I could have played for 7, 2... Oh, there we go, okay. One to 4 damage to a random enemy. Oh, whoops. It's 1 to 4 damage. Oh well, the 2 things that he wants to trade with, right? Oh, 1 damage. The 2 things he wants to trade with, really, and both had the 3 power, so... Okay. That's good for us, right? He's just drawn a glut of cards. But we're going to be setting up the win next turn. So we're setting up the win on the board, right? So he's probably going to try and gain health or just kill things. If he gains health, then that's fine. Okay, cool. We've got the Pyroblast victory again. I feel so mean with this Pyroblast. It's just 10 damage out of nowhere. Hooray! We've made our 7 wins. So we have gone technically infinite with this run. We don't know what our rewards are, obviously. Our rewards could be anything, any of the random things, but we know that we're guaranteed pretty much 150 gold. So I'm happy with that. Now we need to set ourselves a new goal, because we can't... We don't know what we're going to be doing with this, right? This is the best I've ever done by 3 wins now. I thought it was only by 1 win, but actually I've only ever done 4. So we're now 3 wins above what we wanted to start with, which is good. I'm happy with that. I thought that the deck was going to be able to go 4 wins. It's proved that it can. So... what's our next goal? We can only go 12 wins maximum. I'm not 100% sure I'm a good enough player to get to the 12 wins. Maybe I am. Who knows? But I don't think saying that I can go for 12 wins, I think that's too big of a step. And I think 2 wins up to 9 is a bit like, well, what's the point? So I'm going to say that our next goal is going to be 10 wins. So we're going to go for 10 wins on this. If we reach that goal, then we'll go for the 12 wins. But at the moment, this is going to be our goal: is 3 more wins with this. 10 more wins with this? Wow. No, 3 more wins with this, and we're going to go up to 10 wins. So let's go back in and find a new opponent. Widow puppy. Oh, okay, Warlock. We haven't seen one of these for a while. So, again, we want to be going early game. He's going to be placing some pressure on himself, but he's going to be drawing stuff. So, we don't want this guy. These two are fine. They give us no options, because they're both 2 mana 3/2s. But they give us some ordering, and we've got a flame cannon as well. So it entirely depends on what our opponent is going to do, and how we react. I greet you, Zombie Chow. So, I can kill this, and I get none of the benefit. This guy is gonna just be a minion killer. He's gonna kill this, he's gonna kill this. Of course, he trades 1 for 1. If this hits him 3 times, then it will trade 0. If this hits him 3 times, then that's great, but it's gonna be unlikely. I don't really want to play this. This is fine, but I mean, he can just hit me a few turns. So I mean, I could just hero power this turn, and then next turn lay this guy. If they crash in, I'm not too fussed about the spell damage +1. I mean, it was a kill earlier on, but I mean, it's not going to be too much of a problem. So I think I'm just going to hero power this turn. And we'll see if he crashes in. Like, this guy's going to give me the health back, unless he silences him. I mean, he could Iron Beak out and silence this guy. That'd be interesting. But he's got no... His hero power can't deal damage to my minions like the rogue can or the mage. Oh, okay, that guy. So let's get this guy out now. Of course, there's so many things he could do. There is a lot of things he could do. That is what I was expecting. You can do it? Yeah, there we go. Okay. Ooh, okay. Okay. Maybe not the best. I mean, I could have done this and then this guy, but Mad Bomber seems entirely intent on killing my own guys, so he probably would have killed this and dealt 1 damage to this guy, just, you know, for the hell of it. Okay, he's going straight for the face. No, he's not. I don't want to deal 4 damage to a minion that is... Come on, Mad Bomber. Go mad. That was not mad enough. It's okay. You can trade up if necessary. If for some reason he doesn't play any minions, we've got 5 damage here. I don't mind 4 damaging either of those. Okay, well, he's replaced himself, so I'm going to draw a card, see what's going to come out. It's a Mr. Chugger, and we're going to deal 4 damage to a random, totally random minion. How many cards have you got? 6 versus my 5. 7 versus my 5. Okay. Oh, Childewind Yeti. How I despise thee. Okay, so I've got the Violet Teacher Knife Juggler combo. You're 4 mana. You can kill so many things. I can't really utilise Violet Teacher that well at the moment. Reckless Rocketeer. Let's trade in our minions. Unfortunately, that was a bit of a bit rubbish for us. Okay, so that guy's going to be an 8/8. I kind of want to save this for the Violet Teacher, don't I? So we've got a better minion for him to crash into, that this will die to, or a worse minion. Ugh! Come on, don't be something great. What did he just kill? Oh, Nomish Inventor. 3/5. Come on. Thank you. I'm not going to go for a play here. Possibly the wrong choice. Mortal Coil? Yeah, okay. Oh, double Mortal Coil. 8 cards. You're a 3/5. When you target it, gain +1/+1. I'm kind of going for the Pyroblast again, but I haven't even drawn it. I've got half my deck left. I've got a Dock Boom, a Pyroblast, a Fireball. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, of course. Let's get him within Fireball range as well. So, I'm pretty sure he's just going to want to start clearing my stuff up. Wow. The Ravenholt. Okay. That somewhat helps me. Oh, did he give him Wind Fury? Well played. There was not much I could have done. I don't think. The Flame Strike was a nice top deck at that point, but I mean, I can't really do much to a 7-1 that's... I can't attack and I can't target with my hero abilities. Who then gets Wind Furied and huge. Like, if he was taunted, that would have been fine, because... Well, I couldn't attack him, so he'd have attacked me and then I would have been able to pop him with the Spider or with the Big Game Hunter. If I'd drawn probably most of my damage spells off the top, then I would have been alright, but these things happen. My deck has like no taunt in it, so I've got no way of protecting myself from swings like that. But oh well. It's only my second loss. Versus a priest and win. Okay, I'll go first. So on an earlier turn I said that I was going to keep this because I got to draw the more cards out of it technically. However, I don't have anything I want to play on the early turns, and this guy is going to be probably suiting up one guy pretty big, so I'm going to ship all of that and see if we get some early game going. No, not really. Not super great. I mean, it could go well. Could go well, could go badly. It's interesting that you don't know what your opponent's win percentage is like. I mean, is this guy guaranteed to be 7 wins and 2 losses, or is it he could be on just 7 wins straight up? That's gonna kill me. Alright, we've got a Snow Chugger. Greetings, fellow priest. Fellow priest? I'm a mage, not a priest. I just think I'm a priest. Coin into... Oh no, not this guy! Hate this guy. Crash, heal. Oh look, I'm going to deal damage. And it's going to randomly hit your Snow Chugger. At least he's frozen for a turn. Come on, hit me! Hit me! Fuck's sake! I hate this thing. It's just so annoying. So annoying. I mean, I really wish I had some for a priest deck, but I just ugh. Despise it. Let me splash some water over here. It's amazing that they put so much effort into like the physics properties. Can I make this red hot? No, my guy! I know I hate this guy, but I'm not going to deal 6 damage to him. I think the better option here is the Water Elemental. Just for the extra point on the bum. Oh, does it just change them? There we go. So now I'm more inclined to deal 4 damage to this guy, since I can't just outright kill him. And yes, it wastes my spell for my Violet Teacher, but I think that's better. So I mean, I could play this guy, buff him to avoid the shadow words. I kinda need to pop the spider before I flame strike. So if I enrage him, he dies. If I don't enrage him, he dies. If I give him +1/+1 and then he enrages, he could die on a later turn. But let's do this instead. This is just to protect him from both the shadow words. And then if he does nothing and just plays some dudes, I'm going to crash this guy in here and then flame strike. Oh no, this guy in here and then flame strike, and then I've got 5 damage. But this is, of course, Arena, and anything could happen. Oh, whoops. I don't really want to flame strike. He's gonna have the shadow word. Kinda just gonna accept that he's got the shadow word. I mean, if he doesn't, then great. I'm dropping him to 12. For the pyroblasting areaness of pyroblasting. Another one of those. Oh, stop keeping him out of range of... You gonna heal him as well? No, you're gonna heal yourself, okay. And then you're gonna play all the guys that survive a pyroblast. Pyroblast, flame strike. If I flame strike, I can kill this, or like these 3. I can then ping this guy that pops out of here and then kill this, and he'll be left with 2 1/1s. It's not super good for me, I must admit. Notice he's now got card advantage, board presence. I've got nothing. I've just played straight into what he wanted, haven't I? Shit. Stop drawing Violet Teachers with no spells. It's annoying. Let's draw a card, see what I draw. Oh, and there's the Pyroblast. I really needed to pop that spider beforehand. Yeah, that's fine. That's kind of what I want you to do. You're not going to attack me. Okay. 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 I need some spells. Don't want spell damage. Need spells or card draw. Like, seriously, this is bad. Oh, can he kill both of them? No, it's not going to. I think this is going to be the end. I've drawn most of my removal. This guy's still going to be a 9/9. Oh, but I could Pyroblast him. 6, 9, 10, 11. Rather than keeping the Pyroblast this time, we're just going for the face. Not for the face, like I did last time. That lost me the game. I mean, I've probably lost this one anyway. I've got a lot of problems. And not many ways of actually stopping them. So I can drop you. That costs too much. 2 damage. I transform you into a 1/1 sheep, you become a 5/4. I can't kill you. I can't silence you. I can't do anything. This taunt guy's ruined me. You deal 2 damage to something, but you don't kill it. And then I take 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's see if he doesn't go for the kill on board. Some people won't, some people will just try and clear the minions. At which point, if he does that, then I'm in a decent position, right? But I think this is it. So, I set my goal at 10, and you're going to clear my minions as well as killing me? Okay. Well played. Okay, well we got the 7 wins. I'm happy with the 7 wins. I shouldn't be sad that I didn't get any higher. 7 wins is good. I've never got 7 wins before. So I'm pretty happy with that after like reading up on a load of theory and how to play Arena and draft Arena and stuff. Oh, you only get 3 boxes. Okay. 20 dust. 155 gold. There's our second Arena win. And a Goblin versus Gnome pack. Let's go see what I got in my Goblin versus Gnomes pack. Robocarb, I can melt that. A Repair Bot, that's my second one. I'm not sure if this is any good. Maybe it is. Another Tinker Sharp Sword, that's cool. Another Piloted Shredder, I can melt that. And a Clockwork Gnome. I don't think I've got any of those. Okay, so we can go and melt some stuff. Crafting. Oh, for 30? You only give me 5. Oh my goodness, why is it in my red flower? Okay, well I can disenchant you for 5. Something that costs 25? It's not rare, is it? No, I've got 2 of you. What does that say? Get ready to strike oil! Super cheesy battle cry. Okay, I've got 2 Clockwork Gnomes now, that's cool. They're used in several decks, so I'm quite happy with that. Mana Addict. She's trying to kick the habit, but she still takes some when she's had a stressful day. It's not how to get over addiction, Mana Addict. What have I unlocked? Oh, there we go, there's 3. Plus 5. Once upon a time, only goblins piloted Trevor's. These days, everyone from Doomsayer to Lorewalker Cho seems to ride one. So that's unfortunate, because I actually crafted a piloted shredder, and now I've unlocked one. but I didn't think I was going to ever unlock one. Spiteful Smith. She'll craft you a sword, but you'll need to bring her 5 steel ingots, 3 mates of earth, and the scalp of her last customer. Frost Elemental. When a water elemental and ice elemental love each other very much. Lovely. What's my extra card? It's a rare. Is it the priest rare? Did I already have? Where's priest? Ah, what icon is priest? Is there anywhere I've just unlocked? Oh, blimey, I had 2. Okay, cool. It's the same as the previous generation, but they slapped upgraded on it to soul double. Okay, cool. Oh, we've got some extra dust out of that as well. So we've now got nearly enough for full rares. I'm actually going to have a look at my crafting. So there's a new set about to come out. I obviously don't have that much of either of the previous sets. I'm slowly picking up stuff. I should probably be crafting these Unleash the Hounds for when I play. You must read the name of this card out loud each time you play it. Okay, I will do. Make sure to remember. Yeah, I've crafted a few things, but not very much. I mean, I've now got 380 dust, so I mean, I could start crafting some stuff for the decks that I want to try and bump up where I am. But we don't really know what is going to be useful, particularly. I don't know if I should save up for Dr. Boom. He seems to be played in almost everything. Is this a rare? He's a common. Okay. Oh, an uncommon, I call him. But yeah, there's a load of new minions coming and a load of 130 new cards. I mean, I don't even have... I'm probably missing more than 130 cards from base set, let alone Goblins versus Knives. I mean, the other thing as well, is there any way of telling which set these have come from? Because, I mean... Do you know if they're the base set or Goblins versus Gnomes? Oh, it says here. Is there any way of telling on the card? Those card backs look exactly the same to me. Oh wait, yeah, hold on, there's a cog in the background. A little spin. So there'll be a new symbol to be able to tell what comes from which packs. Because I'm assuming that the new set will start, you'll start getting it in the what's it called? Arena instead of the Goblins vs Gnomes packs. So I mean, I'm probably missing out on my chance to get the Goblins vs Gnome packs, which is a shame, but oh well. Total wins 30 and a diamond key, tasty diamond key. So yeah, I mean that arena run went pretty good then. I wanted 4. I wanted to try and tread water on the entry of golds and packs, and I actually managed to win my entry fee back, which is pretty good when you consider it. What time is it? It is 3 o'clock. I'm going to be finishing that quest maybe tomorrow. Golden tracking, golden healing touch, holy smite, sinister strike, level 20, 23, 20, 23, 20. Golden Frost Nova again. Okay, what we're going to do then is we're going to probably go through and have a look at we're going to have a look at another arena run. Just do... Okay, I'm being followed by people. That's interesting. Yeah, so we're going to do another arena run. We're going to do it exactly the same way we did it before. So we're going to use the guide for the first 10 picks, and then we're going to go back in and we're going to discuss our picks before we actually check out what we're doing on the guide, just so we're not autopiloting. We're actually thinking about what we're doing, considering about what we're doing, and actually drafting in a sensible way rather than just going, I'm going to pick this because this guy tells me to pick this. And then once we've gone through the first 10 picks, we're going to step back, have a look at our all the cards that we've got, where our curve is, what kind of things that we need to be looking for to pick up, like where our holes are in a mana curve. We're not going to use the guide at that point. We're going to carry on with just my bad knowledge of Arena. We're going to then build through that, the next 10. Once we get to the 20th pick, and we've done the 20th pick, so we've got 10 cards left to pick, we're just going to see where like the literal holes are. We did it last time. We kind of bent it a little bit because we knew that we were missing some things, but some things that came up weren't that great. So I mean, it's all going to change anyway. So let's go and sign up. How much will I get? 150 off of this is 125. So I actually only made 5 gold from that arena run. So far, I should probably say, because this is technically free. This is our infinite, as it were. So we want to be going for another infinite run, so 7 wins. Now, that's kind of a bit of a jump, so maybe I'll go back down to the 4 wins. So we've got a choice of Priest, Hunter, or Warrior. I'm just going to go... I had something somewhere, and I don't know where it is. Because... Okay, yeah, here it is. So, the excellent classes are Mage, good classes are Paladin and Rogue, the average ones are Druid, Shaman and Warlock, below average are Hunter and Priest, and the really below average are Warrior, according to Sheng's... I think it's Sheng? Yep, Sheng's choosing a class in Arena. So that's not too good. Our choice is between below average, average, and indeed average. Now, my best win before, or the best run that I had, that I thought was a Priest deck before that was using the shadow word of I'm going to turn my hero power into a nuts hero power. Garrosh's ability doesn't really affect the board. Priest's ability doesn't really affect the board. I mean, he allows for a trade and then allows me to hit a minion and then heal up, and then my minion's still around. Hunter allows me to have the inevitability, but he has no mass removal. That's one of the main things I find with Hunter is he's a bit weak at clearing the board. I mean, all of these are kind of weak at clearing the board. Priest is probably the best because of the Holy Novas. Hunter is actually probably the worst at clearing the board. Garrosh has got the Cleave, which technically can clear the board. It's the same as multi-shot, but 2 less. And he's got like Blade Flurry, I think it is. Or he's got the thing that deals 1 damage to everything and executes and stuff. But I'm going to go for Priest and the lesser heal. So, first up, we're going to have a look at these cards, and then we're going to talk about them, and then we're going to decide which one we want to do. So, first of all, we've got the Crazed Alchemist. He's a 2 mana 2/2. Stat-wise, he's not very interesting. Like, 2 mana 2/2 is fairly meh. We kind of want a 2 mana 3/2 or a 2 mana 2/3. However, the attack and health of the minion can be like super reversing of the game. So I mean, if they've got like something like an Oasis Snapjaw, suddenly they've got a 7/2 Oasis Snapjaw that dies to most of our minions, which can be pretty good and can swing stuff around. But it's kind of situational. I mean, we can flip our own guys. So I mean, he could make some of our own guys more powerful. So maybe the Crazed Alchemist is alright. Next up, we've got the Light Warden. I've got no real way of gauging how good the Light Warden is. I've only ever seen it constructed with heavy healing stuff. Like, it's 1 mana, so we get to play it on turn 1 if we're on the play. But they're then going to play something on their turn 1, which is going to be a 2-drop. Most 2-drops are going to kill the Light Warden, just like straight up kill it, which means we're never going to get the heal. Later on, then yeah, we are going to get the heal, but we're going to need to protect it for at least a turn to be able to utilise its extra 2 attack power from anything. So we're going to need to draft taunt guys. So I'm going to kind of mark this below the Crazed Alchemist. Even though the Crazed Alchemist is situational, I think that it's probably too weak. However, we've got Shadow Boxer. Now, I got wrecked by this thing, and I hate the card. Because whenever I play it, or I've played it in Arena before, my Shadow Boxer decides to go and punch their face. Whenever my opponent plays it, the Shadow Boxer decides to hit all of my minions, and it's super annoying. But I think Shadow Boxer here, he's got the 2 mana 2/3 stats that we kind of want, or the 2 mana 3/2 stats. He's not that, but he's kind of like that kind of stat overlay. And he's got deal 1 damage to a random enemy when we heal, so he's kind of got pressure. If we do the thing that our opponent did in that last match, which is put the +2 draw a card thing on him, he's going to be super annoying to get rid of. I'm pretty interested in taking this, but what we're going to do is we're going to switch to our priest view. We're going to do Control F because that's the way that we can easily find things, and we're going to look up some of these cards. So let's look up the Crazed Alchemist. Can you go find me Crazed Alchemist, please? Crazed Alchemist is listed at a rare. Sorry, he's rare. Sorry, he's listed as a value of 50, and he's got the little star next to him, and the little star means second pick has lower value, and third has a much lower value. So he's a 50. We might not pick him. Light Warden. Oh, I know where I've seen Light Warden. Light Warden is summoned from a spell which is heal something, and then if still damage, summon Light Warden, and that's where it's really good. Light Warden is rated at average and 58, so that's looking more like our pick at this moment in time. Let's have a look at Shadow Boxer. Shadow Boxer is rated as above average at 60, so as I thought, this is going to be our best pick. However, what I didn't realise is that this is actually going to be better. The Light Warden is going to be better than the Crazed Alchemist. I really thought the Light Warden would be worse than the Crazed Alchemist, so you learn something new still. So let's pick this Shadow Boxer and let's have a look at our next pick. I can pretty much tell you what I'm going to pick here. Unless this guide, because I'm going to go from this guide 100%. So even though I really want to pick it and it says don't pick it, but I'm not going to pick it, I'm going to be sad. Northshire Cleric. This is one of the only 1-mana minions that we care about in any of the arenas. It's super good. Like, yes it dies, yes it doesn't trade, but the amount of value you can get from it over a game and just the amount of card draw with the heal is just so worth it. So this is really good, and the stats for a 1/1, most 1/1s are, I mean we saw the rare before as a 1-mana 1/2, most of the 1/1s are 1/1/1, so this is still pretty good. We've also got the Haunted Creeper. Haunted Creeper I kind of like, as a 2-drop in Arena, he's not super great. We had some problems with him in a couple of our last games where he just didn't have enough power to punch through stuff. Yes, he splits into 2 1/1 spiders, but our opponent doesn't split him, and we find no way of splitting him and then utilising those 1/1s. He can be a bit slow. And then we've got the Senjin Shieldmaster. Senjin Shieldmaster is pretty good. Stat-wise, he's only 1 off of the Chillwind Yeti stats of 4 for a 4/5, but he's got Taunt, which means that we can protect another minion, he can soak up some damage instead of our face. So again, like, these 3 picks are all pretty good, so I think I would be surprised if they're not super close. I mean, they could be like super close. By the way, the reason I keep looking down is because my second monitor is like down here resting on something. I don't have a very big desk. My desk is literally, it's about that big. It's about how wide it is. So another monitor wouldn't fit. I might be able to switch it sideways and chuck it in. That might be something that I'll try and set up for later. But there's no way I can actually put it on anything. So it's currently down, resting on a box. So our Northshire Cleric is rated at value 70 plus. It's got some little arrows next to it, which means high first pick bonus. Which means we're going to overrate the Northshire Cleric. Now, when we rated before, we bumped down by 3 points, and that was by it's rated lower. So I think technically we're probably going to bump this up by 3, and then by 3 again for the highly rated up pick. So we're going to kind of treat this as a 76, unless they're all super close. But I mean, this was the one I wanted to go for anyway, so it's probably going to be that, right? Haunted Creeper is rated as above average at 68, so it doesn't beat the base stats of Northshire Cleric, the base value of Northshire Cleric. So they are close, but the Northshire Cleric does take it even without its little bonus. And the Sen'jin Shieldmaster, again, I knew it, they're all close. Sen'jin Shieldmaster is 68, so these two are literally as perfectly valuable as each other. The Northshire Cleric takes it by the first pick bonus, the high first pick bonus, and the fact that I want to take it. And it was a 70 anyway, so let's take the Northshire Cleric and be done with it. Cool, so next up we've got Divine Spirit, double a minion's health, which works super well in conjunction with the Lightspawn, which is our sort of like Chillwind Yeti. He's a full mana 5/5, can be huge, can make him massive. Obviously he shrinks over time, so trading with Chillwind Yeti, he becomes a 1/1, and then we can heal him up and he's back to a 3/3. So he's good. He is a good card. I do like the Lightspawn. I have a feeling I overrate Lightspawn, and actually he's not that great because you've got no control over it. Like if your opponent does backstab, deals 2 damage to him, he's suddenly a 3/3 when you thought you had a 5/5, which means they can trade up with a 2 mana guy, or even in this case possibly a 1 mana guy if they can deal 3 damage to him. Like he flits a little bit. 1 drop, we got the Murloc Raider. We already got a 1 drop of Northshire Cleric. We only want 1 or 2 at most, 0 to 2 1 drop minions in an arena draft. And Murloc Raider just isn't really good enough. If we were doing, somehow we decided to pick Murloc, then yes, his value is a lot higher, but he's pretty rubbish. And back to the Divine Spirit, doubling any minion's health is going to be good. If we can double a Lightspawn, great. If we can double, say, our Shadow Boxer, he's going to stick around for a longer time than our opponent's going to plan for. If we do it on a Northshire Cleric, again, it's just going to stick around and going to cause problems. I'm not sure which one I would pick out of these. Like, I think at this moment in time, given that this is a uncommon and this is a common, basic and common, I would probably take the Lightspawn because we're more likely to see more Divine Spirits later on in the draft. But I don't know. We're going to find out. So let's look down and to our left. Divine Spirit is rated as 42, and second pick has lower value. Light Spawn is rated at 64, so actually that's rated pretty highly. I wasn't really expecting that. And Murloc Raider. Oh, I'm sorry, Murloc Raider, you're rated as 30. So we're going to take the Lightspawn. As I said, this was the one that I was probably going to pick anyway, given just I'm more likely to see more of these later on. And he's a fine minion. I'm not sure if I'd rate him quite as highly as 60, but what do I know? I know nothing. I know nothing, Jon Snow. You know nothing. Maybe I am Jon Snow. Right, so minions. So let's start with this guy, because he's just gonna... No. He does nothing. He doesn't attack. He just chump blocks. He doesn't even kill their stuff. Like, he's a wall early game. I'm sure there is a moment in ranked or casual where this guy is actually decent. I'm pretty sure in arena this guy's just terrible. So we're not going to pick this guy. Next up we got the Dark Iron Dwarf. He's a 4 mana 4/4. Stat wise, he's pretty good. Like, the stats of the Dark Iron Dwarf are fine. Like, we kind of would want the extra point of toughness for the Chillwind Yeti-esque kind of thing, but a 4 mana 4/4 is pretty decent. We're quite happy to pay 4 mana for this. And he's got a bonus. On an empty board, this guy is, average to good, and on a board where we need to push through some damage, kill a taunt, win, this guy is great. Like, he can suddenly just mess with combat maths. Like, let's go. Do we have an example we can give? Not really, because we've got. Say we coined out. Say we've got this Shadow Boxer on turn 2, and we got the coin and this guy. Like, they somehow get something with 4 toughness, and it's just like, this guy maybe. This is going to be annoying in the way. This guy just allows us to punch through and he improves our board and does the bonus. So he's kind of like a little spell plus a minion, just like that's left behind. So I quite like this guy. And then we've got a 3-mana 3/4 in Dark Cultist. Death Rattle, give a random friendly minion plus 3 health. Now, this guy is a kind of risk. Empty board is really bad. Well, he's not really bad. He's a spider tank, right? Spider tank isn't bad. On a developed board, he can be quite good because he can suddenly give something bigger health and cause more problems. It gives 3 health to our Lightspawn. Our Lightspawn is suddenly an 8/8. Maybe they weren't expecting that. Or our Lightspawn is a 1/1 and suddenly he pops it back up to a 4/4. So he's pretty good. But there's ways of negating him, ways of killing the rest of our board and then him, that sometimes I think he's a bit of a risk. Sorry. Again, I'm torn between these two. Like, I think I prefer the Dark Iron Dwarf. I suspect the Dark Cultist is going to nab it though on the value. So let's just have a look and see. Dark Cultist. Wow. He is rated as great and an 80. Dark Iron Dwarf is not going to get anywhere near. Well, okay, he's quite close. Dark Iron Dwarf is a 76. And just for posterity, let's have a look at the Shield Bearer. He's rated 22. We could pick nearly 4 of these for one of these guys. So yeah, the Dark Cultist does take it. Just I guess the randomness and the Death Rattle is... Death Rattle just gives you more value out of your minions. I feel this Battle Cry does as well. Empty board, this is the better thing, but it comes down a turn earlier, so, you know, it's kind of swings and roundabouts. So yeah, we'll take the Dark Cultist. Okay, so we have 3 cards. We've got Shadow Word Pain, 2 mana, destroy minion with 3 or less attack. So, why has it got... It looks like a Frost Giant from the art, from the new stuff. Anyway, so, destroying a minion with a 3 or less attack is really good. Like, let's have a look at our deck. Kills this, kills this, kills this. Probably will kill this if we trade something else into it, or tap something else into it. So, this is good. This is a very good removal spell. It works for a lot of the game. There are a lot of minions that are late game that we want to be killing with this as well as early game. So this is a pretty decent pick. However, we've also got the Shrinkmeister. Shrinkmeister is got the stats that we want, a 2 mana 3/2 or a 2 mana 2/3. Having the variance in our deck of mixtures of those allows us to draw them and then have choices in the early turns. And he's got a relevant ability. Like, we can play him on turn 2. And we don't mind playing just a Blood Fen Raptor-esque guy, and he does nothing. Later in the game, he can really kind of swing some combat maths and just be like, right, my minion survives and your minion dies, when you thought it was going to be the other way around. Sorry, or it was going to be an equal trade or whatever. So, I mean, these two are pretty good, decent. And then we've got the Holy Smite as well. Holy Smite is just straight 2 damage. I mean, it kills quite a few things early game. There are quite a few things, however, early game that it can't kill. If we're against another priest, it just does nothing unless we can wipe it off the board. It can go to the face as well. This is something else. This can go straight to an opponent's face. It can be that little bit of extra damage that we need to just clear them out the board. However, I feel it's probably between these two. But you never know until you check. Okay, Shadow Word Pain is at 70, and the other one, so out of interest, just because I've seen it, is the Shadow Word Death has a high first pick bonus, and then a second pick has much lower value. Whereas Shadow Word Pain is just a straight up 70. Let's have a look at the Shrinkmeister. Shrinkmeister is also a 70. That's interesting. So I've now got a choice between a 70 and a 70. And let's just see if Holy Smite is going to eke it out. Doesn't look like it's going to happen. Holy Smite is rated as 60. So okay, we're between these two. Now, we've only got one 2-mana minion. I quite like 2-mana minions in Arena. They worked quite well last game. Both of these are going to be 2 mana, so mana cost doesn't matter. This allows us to destroy a minion with 3 or less attack. This allows us to probably kill a minion and swing the game later on. This allows us to put pressure down on the board. This kind of just... I mean, later on in the game we could trade it in for something big, like one of the Fang Creeper taunt guy, the 3/6 taunt, Sentient Shieldmaster. It just wipes them off the board, and this guy would not punch through that. However, the main thing I'm going to look at here is minions are the things that kind of help us win the arena drafts. Maybe I should be taking this, but this is a basic card. This is a common. We're going to be seeing a lot more of these type of cards, the common ones, than we are of these, which kind of pushes me to say I'm going to take the Shrinkmaster. It's equally between these two. I'm happy to have one of these. I'm happy to have one of these. I'm probably happier to have 2 of these than I am to have 2 of these in my deck at the end of it. So I'm going to take the risk, and we're going to go for the Shrinkmeister. There's no way of really knowing. It could be either way. So it could be I get to games in my draft, I'm just like, I really wish I took that Shadow Word Pain, and it's going to be a pain in the butt. But oh well. It's tough. I've done it now. What's done is done. Okay, so first up we've got Thought Steal. Copy 2 cards from your opponent's deck and put them into your hand. So Thought Steal allows us to copy anything, I believe. I think it allows us to copy stuff that has gone to the graveyard. I don't know if there is a graveyard in Hearthstone, but the graveyard, stuff that's been killed, died, used. Allows us to copy stuff that would technically be on the battlefield. Allows us to copy stuff in the hand. Allows us to copy stuff in the deck. Obviously it's random, so we could get 2 really, really terrible things. However, this is card draw. Card draw is really, really good. I would be quite happy to have this in my deck. It gives us card draw. We have no card draw at this moment in time. I mean, it's early in the pick, so I'm not too worried. But having some card draw, even though it's not from our own deck, just gives us a lot of stuff. It also means that we could have the ability of, like, pulling out a Pyroblast or something and just being like, wow, suddenly I've got 10 damage to just fire at your face, or like anything. I'm trying to think of other things that work really well together with these guys. I'm sure there's stuff, right? Some silence minion to get rid of their taunt guy, an Iron Bark Protector just to save our guys. There's a lot of things, like Iron Bark Protector and Priest is going to be hideous to beat through if we got that. So, I mean, I'm quite tempted by this. Next up we got the Mind Control. So this is kind of like the Pyroblast of the Priest. Take control of an enemy minion. Not as good. We can't attack with that minion on that turn. It can allow us to swing stuff, so we can take out their key taunt guy that they've played on the turn before, like the Avatar of War, I think. The guy that's the 5/10 with taunt, that can become a 5/10 with taunt. We can steal that guy, and then suddenly they've lost their protection, and we can clear their board, clear their dudes. However, we need to do it on a minion, and it costs 10. It can go up our hand quite a lot early on in the game, and we don't really want to be having this super gummy hand. Pyroblast was okay because we know that it can just go over the top of almost anything in the game. Anything they play can just get out of the way. If our opponent has 2 taunts, we're going to steal their better one, but we've still got to get through a taunt. They've got the ability to, for us not attacking, that means that they can kill our guy first with removal or with their own minions. It's unfortunate. I've had minions stolen before that I really didn't want to have stolen, but I mean, it costs 10 and it doesn't really end the game. It can, but I feel it's more situational than the Pyroblast. And then last up we've got the Murloc Tidehunter, who is a 2-mana 2/1, which is not great stats because we want these 3/2s or these 2/3s. However, he brings along a 1/1, so he brings along 3 power and 2 toughness across 2 bodies, which can be better in some cases. Now, I think Murloc Tidehunter is not super great. We kind of want to play him, but there's so many abilities and so many of the hero powers that can just chip away at it, that there's so many options where we play this and then they just kill it with their, say Druid kills it with their hero power, and then we're left with a 1/1. It's like, well, great, I spent 2 mana on a 1/1 and 1 damage to my opponent, which is going to be minimal. We can't heal it with the Northshire Cleric. Either of those bodies, we can't heal it. They're gonna die. I mean, if we thought stole something and it had 1 power, then oh well. But if we thought steal something and it's got like 5 toughness, not power, then we can heal it. Then sweet. This works better with our class than the Murloc Tidehunter. But as always, we are going to have a look at what the guide said. So Thought Steal is a 60 with I believe that is a high first pick bonus. No, sorry, a slight first pick bonus. So we're going to rate that as we've done it before. We're going to rate it as 63, just because that's what we do. Next up we have Mind Control. Mind Crush is 66 with a high first pick bonus and a lower second pick bonus. Okay, so that rates it as 72 with my +3 swing. I don't know if my +3 -3 swing is technically bad. And let's just have a look at the Murloc Tidehunter. He's rated as 40. So I really want to take the Thought Steal over the Mind Control. I really don't think Mind Control is going to work in my deck, but I set out rules for this draft, and that is the first 10 picks, I follow this to the T, and then I start actually thinking. So I mean, I know you should think about your draft at all the points, and you shouldn't just auto pick stuff for 30 picks off one of these guys. Maybe I shouldn't even be doing it for 10 picks. Maybe I should go, you know what, I think you're wrong, I think this is better. But I don't play Hearthstone that much, and I do run a single Mind Control in some of my decks that I have. My priest deck that I was running, I ran a Mind Control as a way of getting their legendary creature or something off them. I think it's got more variance in draft. It gives us something to do, which is our end game thing with our curve. I'm gonna follow the guide, but I think I shouldn't have. I think I should have taken the Thought Steal. But we set rules. Okay, so this doesn't look super great. Grimscale Oracle is just a 1/1 and a 1/1. We don't have any Murlocs. We could start drafting Murlocs, but again, why would we? He's not super great. Like, he's fine, he gives bonuses to stuff. If we had just drafted Murlocs, he would be great. If we had drafted a decent amount of Murlocs, he would be great. But he's not. He's a bit meh, to be honest. Next up we have another 1 mana spell. This time it's a 2/1. 2/1 is fine on 1, and it has the sudden bonus of, if we're holding a dragon for some reason, it becomes essentially a 2-drop. Like, it becomes one of the 2-drops that we want to play. However, we have no dragons at the moment, and there is the entire chance in this draft that we'll not draft any other dragons. At which point he's going to be our 1 mana 2/1 most of the time. Which is better, I feel, than the Grimscale Oracle, but it's not super great. And lastly, we've got the 3 mana 4/4 of Dancing Swords. Now, Dancing Swords looks like a great card. It's like, great, I can get an early start with my 4 damage, start punching through, and then I'm going to be able to trade with 2 minions, or I'm going to be able to just punch face and do loads of damage. But your opponent draws a card, it is kind of giving them, like, if they take this out in 1 turn and you're not expecting it, You've just given them. You've just, rather than paying 1 for so one spell for your card, they've paid nothing because they're drawing a card for your spell. They obviously lose that removal, but they could draw into something better that they need at that point. So he's risky. However, out of these three, who would I pick? I mean, it's early enough in the draft that we might pick this, because it gives us the ability to give more value to a dragon, to hope that we get this turned on an earlier turn. I wouldn't pick this, so it's between these two, and I might go for the more consistent, but with the drawback of the Dancing Swords. Let's have a look though. Is that the second Grimscale Oracle that we've seen? Or was it just another? It was a Murloc Tidehunter and a Murloc something or other. Grimscale Oracle. Okay, so yesterday our worst card had a value of 22. Grimscale Oracle has a value of 4. Yeah, he's terrible. We're not picking him. Twilight Whelp is rated as bad and 34, so not super good. We're not really interested at the moment. Let's see what the Dancing Swords are though. Oh, Dancing Swords is rated as 32. So there we go. Terrible, bad, but we'll take the best of a bad bunch with the Twilight Whelp and hope that we don't keep drawing like the I think this Tavern Master is offering us cards, so hopefully that we don't get offered more and more 1-drops. We don't really want those. So, is this just when he's damaged? Yes. Okay, so actually, let's just go straight for this. So, in our last draft with Mage, Raging Rogan was really good. The main reason for that was our hero power can turn him on. So even if we don't hit into anything, we can turn him on normally. So if our opponent has minions, we can crash the Raging Rogan into one of them, enrage him, crash him into another one. We've gained a bit of card advantage out of that. Now, if they have nothing and we really want to take the risk, we can hit him for 1 and then he's suddenly dealing 8 damage, which is like, can be super swingy, especially later in the game. So he was really good in Mage. However, we can't turn him on as consistently in a Priest, and it's only whilst he's damaged. So if we healed him, then we lose the ability that he has, which is the extra damage and the Wind Fury. So given that we can't consistently turn him on, we should probably treat this guy as a 3 mana 3/3. 3 mana 3/3 is fine. Like, stat wise, we're not too. I mean, I think the best 3 mana ones are probably about the 3/4s, but 3/3 is fine. We had quite a few 3/3s in our last deck, 3 mana 3/3s in our last deck, and they ran fine. Next to him, we've got the Flying Machine. Is a 3 mana 1/4. He's got Wind Fury, so we don't have to turn it on. So he's going to be dealing 2 damage. We can heal him up, which means that we can probably get some value. 1 damage. It's not going to clear anything off the board. It's going to attack the same thing twice. It's going to attack something, we're going to have to heal it, and it's going to have to attack it again. Which is not a super great use of our mana. Now, obviously, we can try and make him stick around on the board for a little bit longer, but we're going to just be spending resources into this guy, and maybe that's not the best thing to be doing. Lastly, we have the Jungle Panther. Jungle Panther is a 3 mana 4/2 with stealth. Stealth means it can't be targeted or attacked until it attacks itself, which means we can drop this on the board, and as long as our opponent doesn't have a mass removal spell, such as like Holy Nova or Flame Strike, then we've got this sudden 4 damage out of nowhere. Obviously, your opponent knows about it, so there's not much they can do. But if they laid anything that had 4, we can force our opponent to not lay 4 toughness minions, because that's just going to trade up into those. Most of the 4 toughness minions are not going to be 3 mana or 2 mana, they're going to be the 4 or 5 mana stuff, which means we can trade up in value. So, out of these, which would I pick? It's probably between the Worgen and the Panther. We're less likely to heal the Panther, but he's kind of like semi-like removal. We don't have any real removal at all. Because we didn't take the Shadow Word hand thing. So it's kind of between the Panther and the Worgen. As always, we're going to switch down. I say as always for the first 10 picks, we're going to switch down to our guide and see what we've got. So Jungle Panther is rated as 56 and green. I don't know what the green text means. It's not indicated anyway, but he's rated as 56, so that's fairly decent. He's in the firm average camp. Flying Machine is rated as 12. Yep, we're not going to pick him. We aren't going to pick him anyway. And Raging Worgen, is he rated higher? So they are pretty close in Priest. So this guy is 50. Raging Worgen is 54 to the Jungle Panther. There's 56. So we're going to take the Jungle Panther. We're going to kind of treat him as removal in this case. I've forgotten what Shield Bearer was. I can see him on my screen. He is 22. We've already talked about Shield Bearer. So let's go on to Magma Rager. Magma Rager is a 3 mana 5/1. He's not going to remove much stuff. He trades up, but a lot of the time he's going to get traded up by something small that our opponent has, like Paladin's 1/1 token. It's just going to kill him. 1 damage, Mortal Coil. There's a hero power from the mage. There's so many things. We can't heal him. There's probably not much support for him. I'm going to assume that this guy's going to be pretty low down the pace. And then we've got Holy Smite, which is just the nice removal that we've already talked about. So we've got the Shield Bearer is at 22. The Magma Rager is 12. God, we're not getting much value out of these picks at the moment. We had lots of high value on our first picks. And Holy Smite is 60. Like, this is straight up this card. Removal, it pushes up our 1-drops a little bit, but oh well. Okay, so first of all, so we've got another rare here, so we're going into our 10th pick. So this is our last one with the guide. So Lightwell, at the start of your turn, restore 3 health to a damage-friendly character for 2 mana. He's a 0/5, can't attack, can't really do much. I've seen it. I believe you can target who you want to target, so he can heal himself so that he doesn't get removed from the board. He can heal your hero, he can heal your minions. He triggers my Shadow Boxer, my Northshire Cleric. Like, he's kind of nice. I quite like him. I don't like the fact that he's got 0, and there's no way currently that we have that will allow him to deal any damage. We've got no attack boosting stuff. So, I mean, it's fine, but I probably wouldn't pick it unless the other 2 rares were terrible. So next up we got the Grim Patron. Grim Patron is very good, obviously, in the warrior decks, because you've got the give something charge and you can start pumping out 3/3s and just causing so many problems for everyone. Whenever he survives damage, summon another one. We can then heal him, which means we can then foreseeably get another one, and we've already got another one, so we can start flooding the board with 3/3s that just will not die. Well, they will die, but we're going to get more of them. Next up we got the Khazan Mystic. Khazan Mystic is a 4 mana 4/3, stats aren't super great, and take control of a random enemy secret. Like, this is going to be situational. Our opponent has to play them. This is an arena, so we're less likely to see secrets, let alone play them. Like, some secrets you're just not going to play in arena because you don't have the setup. So I think that this is probably weaker than the Grim Patron. But we're going to do the quick check for our last one and see where things are listed. Lightwell is listed as 14. It's worse than I thought it was. Grim Patron is listed as 18. Really? I suppose because he's a 5 mana 3/3. He's got a star next to him, which means second pick has lower value. So, I mean, he's not even a very good first pick, but he's better than the Grim Patron. So let's look at the Kazan Mystic. It's rated at 42, and then significantly less on the subsequent ones. So I'm surprised here. I thought the Grim Patron would actually be really, really good for our deck, because we'd be casting some heals and trying to do that. But I guess he doesn't trade up. He can trade up, but if they just deal with him in a turn, then he's gone. So yeah, I mean, I'm kind of surprised that this isn't higher, but it kind of makes sense. Like, he's not going to affect the board that much. This is going to possibly affect more of the board. Likely, I'm never going to take control of Random Enemy Secret. If I do, it could be a big swing though. I hadn't really considered that. So, stat-wise, not great, but we'll follow the guide and we'll take that. So, we're now done with the guide. We've got all of our picks. Our first 10 picks. Our first 10 picks are the ones that we're kind of concentrating on here with the guide, and then we're going to go off the beaten track and we're going to use our own knowledge to try and think about what we're going to do. And we're actually displayed with a really difficult choice straight up. So Elven Archer, 1 mana 1/1, battle cry, deal 1 damage. We've got some 1-drops already. We've got the Holy Smite, Northshire Cleric, and a Twilight Well. We don't really want 1-drops. I should probably talk about my curve at the moment as well. So we kind of want some 2-drops, 4-drops. We want something at 5, something at 6. We probably want something up at 7. We don't really want any more 1-drops. We're kind of at a max of 1-drops. We will take more Holy Smites if we see them, and we might take the, I think it costs 1 mana, the +2 health, draw a card. The reason for that is not only does it do something if we've got a minion, it allows our minions to survive, but it also draws, it replaces itself, so we're kind of not down a card. Yes, it's a card in our deck, but we're never going to really see it for very long. So those are kind of like the outside cases. Other 1-drops, unless they're super, super great, we're just going to ignore. But yeah, so we kind of want a bit of a chunk block on 2s, 4s, bit of a dip in the 3s, and then the 5, 6, and then pushing up maybe a little bit on the 7. But we got the mind control. So we're going to ignore the Elven Archer. It doesn't fit into what we're trying to do. It is 1 mana. Very rarely is going to affect the board. It's only going to chip away at something or possibly kill something if we trade something else in for it, and then we're just left with a 1/1 body. Not too interested. What we're interested in is these two. So we talked about both of them before. I've completely forgotten the numbers, which is a shame, because I could just go, I'm going to pick the one that's got the better numbers. I think that was I think this one is the one that's rated slightly higher. We don't have any removal. What did we pick? What was the Thought Steal in a pack with? Was it with the Mind Control? I seem to remember it was with the Mind Control. So yeah, I was tempted by the Thought Steal before, because it's the card draw. It's random, but it's the card draw, and it gives us options to dig into their deck. It gives us more cards, more stuff to do things with. It could be removal, it could be decent creatures, it could be a massive bomb, it could be something rubbish. It could be any of those things. Again, the Shadow Word Pain is really, really good. We want to take this, but again, this is common, this is basic. We're going to see less likely to see these, more likely to see these. It's a risk. Can we deal our deck without a Shadow Word Pain? Maybe. Can we deal it without Thought Steal? Probably, but we have no card draw, except for the Northshire Cleric. So, we've got Northshire Cleric. This is pick 11. I've got to be able to get another one of these 19 picks, right? I'm going to take Thought Steal and hope that that wasn't a really, really bad idea. Okay, so we've got the Holy Smite again. Quite like Holy Smite. Don't like the Murloc Raider. And we got the Flesh-Eating Ghoul. 3 mana, 2/3. So he doesn't really fit our stats that we want. But he is a 3-drop. We've already got 2/3 creatures. So is he good enough? Well, probably not. Like, he doesn't... Empty board, he doesn't really do anything. He's just a 2/3. They're likely to play something that's got more than 2 health, and is probably just going to eat this. At which point, he doesn't really affect stuff. If we're starting to build him up, we can heal him, but it's slow to get going, slow to build up. And I feel that there's probably... We don't want too many 3-drops. We kind of want the 2s and the 4s. He's not really good enough to pick. Yes, okay, he's a common versus a basic, but this is pretty good. This is more removal, can just chuck it at their face if we need it. Gets rid of early game stuff, allows us to hit a minion and this into something to get rid of something bigger potentially. I'm much more inclined to take the Holy Smite. Okay, so speaking of 3 mana minions, we've got another Dark Cultist. We've also got the 5 mana 5/4 Booty Bay. Like, we want a 5-drop, but we've got loads of picks left. We're probably going to hit a 5-drop that's better than this. We're probably not going to see many more of these, and these are apparently very good. And if we go for it, a 3 mana 3/4 Spider Tank. The last card in here is the 0 mana Silence. 0 mana is great because it allows us to just play it. We're not rogues, so we don't really care about the combo. It's just a free spell, right? The problem with this is, yes, it costs 0 mana for nothing, and it allows us to go, right, let's get through something that's got big with Taunt or some ridiculous ability that's causing problems for us. But it doesn't leave anything behind. It, like, if we have Iron Beak Owl or the Spell Stabber guy, I almost clicked it then, that was close. Where they're just going to be leaving something behind. So they're a spell plus something, and the bodies on them aren't terrible. They're not great, but they're not terrible. We do really want a silence ability in our deck, but I don't think this is the one. Like, it's too weak compared to what we could be doing. So I'm going to take the Dark Cultist and push up my 3-drops over what I was saying. Okay, so next up we've got Mind Blast, deal 5 damage to the enemy hero. Mind Blast, if you can draft loads of them, are great. If you're only going to draft one of them, they're not great. So it's a risk. Do you take it and go for the 5 damage, 5 damage, 5 damage? Probably not. It's a bit of a weak play. And so, yeah, this is probably not going to be picked. If I picked it and if I pick it and I get no Mind Blast, it's a little bit of reach, but it doesn't remove minions. Like, the Holy Smite is much better because it's got the ability of removing minions. This is just to the hero. Next up we got Puddle Stomper, who is, for all intents and purposes, just a Bloodfen Raptor, which is fine. 2 mana 3/2, we kind of want. We quite like 2 mana 3/2s. He fits in our deck. He fits in where we want to go in the curve. He has no additional abilities other than the fact that he's a Murloc. But we haven't been drafting any of the Murloc abilities. So yes, maybe. But let's have a look at what we've got next. So we've got Ancient Brewmaster, Earth 4 mana 5/4 with return a friendly minion from the battlefield to your hand. Empty board. This guy's terrible because he does literally nothing. However, he allows us to replay our Battle Cry minions. Now, this Battle Cry doesn't affect anything else. We don't really want to be returning him, but it's 1 mana, so we're not really, like, planting a 5/4 if we've got this guy down is fine. Returning a Shrinkmeister if he's still alive is good. This means that we can probably cast a Shrinkmeister and cause something to die and this guy to survive later in the turns. Jungle Panther, if he's for some reason still alive, we don't mind returning him because if he's killed something when we reset him, that's pretty good. If we get him across a secret deck, Kezan Mystic, it's going to be great to return to our hand because we can just steal another secret. Of course, this might trigger the secret that they've just played, so a little bit of risk. but we're not too fussed about removing them. 4 for a 5/4 is still pretty good. It kills a Chill Wind Yeti if we can stick it on the board. It fits into our mana curve, and yes, it's got a bit of a drawback, but if we consider it on our further picks for the rest of this arena run, then we can probably actually make this work for us rather than be negative against us. Now, I could just take the 2 mana 3/2 and be super consistent, but I'm going to take a risk just because we've got so many cards left to draft that I can probably start utilising this power. One of the things that I was going to do actually on my draft from the other day is actually go back in, not during this, but go back in and actually look at my picks compared to the rest of what was actually listed in the guide, and then we'll see if did I make the right pick. I mean, obviously I don't want to auto pick stuff, but there'll be certain points where I would have been like, I'm not really sure if I should take this card or this card, and then maybe basing it on the value of what's on a guide online would actually be better. But I'm on my own, and I'm going to take the Ancient Brewmaster. Okay, so speaking of Brewmasters, we've got a young one. We've got an ancient one and a young one. Now, Ancient Brewmaster is fine. Is Youthful Brewmaster good? He's a 2 mana 3/2. However, we want to be playing our 2-drops on turn 2. We're not going to be playing this on turn 2 a lot of the time. Yes, we've got some 1-drops, and yes, we don't mind returning them to our hand a lot of the time, but we're unlikely to play this on turn 2. If we're behind later in the game, this is going to be super bad for us unless we've got a really good battle cry that can swing around. At the moment we don't. It's a risk that we might get them. We're much more likely to be able to trigger something that we're not really fussed about on turn 4 than we are on turn 2. And this just turned up. Another Northshire Cleric. Northshire Cleric, as we said before, is like super good. I don't want to fill my deck with Northshire Clerics, but I think this might be the pick, because the other one is an Undertaker. If we look at stat wise, we've got a 1 mana 1/2 versus a 1 mana 1/3. Whenever I summon a minion with Death Rattle, he gains 1 attack. Now, we've only actually got 2 Dark Cultists. Now, we could draft more, and if we manage to fill up the rest of our deck with Death Rattle guys, then maybe this guy is good. However, this is going to be more consistent. More consistent to be able to draw stuff, to heal, to be able to power through stuff. So I'm going to take another Northshire Cleric. I'm probably now going to reduce the amount that I'm going to place on Northshire Clerics, given that my 1-drops are starting to hit quite a high amount. Ugh, okay. Oh no, okay, sorry, misread that. So, we've got a 1 mana 2/1 that has charged. We have a weapon equipped. I don't think there's any weapons for Priest, and even if they were, I probably wouldn't play this. As I was saying, we're filling up on 1-drops. We don't really want the 1-drops. Thus, this is going to be... he's out. Next up, we've got the 3 mana 2/2. We want our 3 mana guys to be pulling their weight. This guy doesn't really pull his weight. He deals 1 damage, which is fine. He can ping off something small. He leaves behind a semi-reasonable body, but he doesn't really fit the stats that he could trade with. However, there is Gilblin Stalker, rather than Goblin Stalker, or Goblin. He fits into our 2 mana 2/3 stats. We have a 2 mana 2/3, we have a 2 mana 3/2, so we're quite happy to take this. He fits the stats that we want at 2 mana. He also has stealth, which means that later in the game he can still be relatively relevant like these two, because we can stick him down on a turn, and then the following turn, if there's a 4 toughness thing, maybe we have the Holy Smite in hand, we can Holy Smite, Gilblin Stalker dies. There are various things we can do. We died to a stealth guy in the last game. Admittedly, he was a 7/5, but stealth can be super good and super useful. It can also mean that if we are playing against, I think it's Rogue and Hunter, they have spells that hit things in the middle. Actually, maybe it's Druid. Hit things in the middle and then hit things either side. So if we put a stealth minion in the middle of our 2 other minions, they can't get the value that they want because they can only hit 2 of our minions rather than 3 of our minions. So, Gilbin Stalker is the pick here, almost assuredly. Man, maybe we should have taken Murlocs. Okay, so let's start from this side again, just because I can. So we've got a 3-mana 1/4, charge and taunt. I used to really love this guy, but that's because I really loved taunt spells. I'm not so sure that he's any good anymore. Like, he deals 1 damage the turn he comes down, and then he will probably deal another damage, but our opponent has the initiative. If I hit their face, he's done not very much. He's not a super Stonewall, so he's alright. He's fine, right? But he's not super great. And then we've got a set of 2-drop 2 1s, or technically 3 2s. So, Bluegill Warrior has charge. We can use him as a Holy Smite late in the game. He can hit a minion, he can hit the face, as long as there's nothing with taunt. So he can swing stuff early and late game. He's normally not super great early, but he is a 2-drop. We like 2-drops. And we've also got the Murloc Hunter. Tide Hunter. Turn 2 is fine, but we're likely to lose the 2-1, and he's quite probably won't trade up. This guy's got more of a chance to trade up because he's got the charge, which allows us to make the choice rather than our opponent to make the choice. Later game he does give us 2 bodies, but we're not really doing any sort of buffing of our actual minions. Thus, I think it's going to be the Bluegill Warrior over the Tide Hunter. Both of them we're unlikely to heal. This guy we are likely to heal, I guess. I'll take the Bluegill Warrior. Oh look, more 2-mana guys. Okay, so Novice Engineer is card draw. We have 2 Northshire Clerics now and a Thought Steal. So card draw we're not too bad on. Obviously this is going to be not drawing stuff in our deck, we're going into the random realm. However, Northshire Cleric, in theory, I'm going to say is going to be drawing us around 2 cards. Let's say we're going to draw 2 cards from each of our Northshire Clerics. It's kind of pulling numbers out of the air. But we want about 5 or 6 card draw options in our deck. So, is this any good? It's fine. It cycles itself, so it replaces itself, and we get a little 1-1 behind. Now, on turn 2, not super great. It's not going to trade up into anything. A late game is literally we're just playing that spell to get through stuff. So, I'm not sure if I want to take this. Goldshire Footman fits into the bill of he's a 1-drop that we don't really care about, so I'm going to ignore him. I think normally you would probably ignore him anyway. He's not super great. He is just literally you throw him down and he's going to get hit by something. Hopefully not. Hopefully they're big thing, just so you stay alive. The thing I'm going to pick is the Shrinkmeister. Like, we've got the 2/3s, and this gives us our second 3/2. Yes, we're going to have a lot of minions on turn 2, but relevant ability late game. Both have got a relevant ability late game. This guy leaves a slightly bigger body, doesn't replace himself, but I'm quite happy with this, so I'm going to take the Shrinkmeister. We're probably not going to pick many more. Oh man, those are horrible picks. No, I'm not picking a 0-mana 1/1, just ever. So do you take the Blackwing Technician? It could become a 3/5. Do we have any dragons? Oh yeah, we do. We've got a Twilight Whelp. Okay. I would like some more dragons to turn this on a bit more. So let's just look at the stats, right? So this is a 3-mana 2/3 plus a 1/1, so a 3-mana 3/4 across 2 bodies. Not great, but not terrible. This is terrible. This is a 3-mana 2/4. So what we're losing pretty much is 1 power from this battle cry. However, we can technically turn it on, and we might be able to get more things if we didn't play this early in the game. at which point it's a 3 mana 3/5, which is not shabby at all. I don't really want to take a 3-drop, but I really don't want to take the 0 mana thing, so we're going to have to choose a 3-drop. This is inconsistent. 3 mana 2/4. What are our other 3 manas? 3/4s. So we've already got 2 3 mana 3/4s. This gives us more bodies though, doesn't it? Which could be relevant. Oh, I don't know. I don't want either of them. It'd be really nice if there was a button which was like discard pick. You could only use it like once in a draft. And it just wipes those cards and gives you 3 more. Just like, which point shall I use it? Shall I use it on the rare or shall I use it on these guys? I suppose people get more consistent decks when they... I'm torn. Is a 3 mana 2/4 any good? I'm going to take the Blackwing Technician and hope that we draw some rares. Dragons, is what I meant to say. Okay, so we got target dummy, a 0/2 with Taunt. Yep. Next up, we got the Knife Juggler, 2 mana 3/2. We like 2 mana 3/2s. We've only got 2 so far. But we do have 5 minions at 2 mana, and we're kind of looking a bit poor later game. This guy is pretty good. He's a stone wall that cannot be killed by stuff. Like, Mage has problems with him. Anything that needs to deal damage to get through him has problems. We can heal him up as well, which is always nice. So I think we're going to probably take the Arcane Nullifier X21 over the Knife Juggler, even though I do like the Knife Juggler. Knife Juggler would have been nicer if I'd taken the Razorfen Hunter, Razorfen whatever, on the last pick, because it would have been 2 damage, but I'm more inclined to take this. Wow. Wow. Gee, what? Why were some of these not in the pick with this thing? I don't think I want 3 Northshire Clerics. If I hadn't picked the Twilight Whelp, then I would probably take the Northshire Cleric. I've got 2 Dark Cultists. I don't want to push up my 3-drop super loads. And I've already got a bad Dark Cultist here, really. I think the only pick I can really take is the Senjin Shieldmaster. Like, these guys are great, but I'm looking pretty poor on mana curve at the moment. And oh, we've hit our... This is our 21st pick. I should have been paying attention. So now we need to really think about hole filling. So we need a 5-drop. We need a 6-drop. We need more 4-drops. We need more 2-drops. We don't really want 3-drops. We don't really want 1-drops. And maybe we want something late game. So let's say 2 on 5, 1 on 6, 1 on 7+. That's 4. And then we probably want to put 3 in our 4-drops. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, I mean, we've got 10 picks left if we ignore this pick for the moment. So 2 on 5, 1 on 6, 1 7+. Then we need what? 2, at least 2 more 4-drops, 3 more 4-drops, and then we need to kind of split the rest elsewhere. So we've got like 3 picks that we can go elsewhere. Now, Senjin Shieldmaster is really good. He's hard to get through. He taunts. He fits our curve a lot better. I think we've pushed up our 3 drops too much, but we didn't want to pick this. But we had no choice. We weren't going to pick the 0 thing, and we had the other 3 drops, so I'll take this Engine Shield Master. And we're going to place more emphasis on not 3 drops. So, out of these picks, I mean, for us, it's going to be the Stone Splinter Trog, just because we want the 2 mana stuff. The Ogre Brute and the Wolf Rider, both are fairly decent, like out of nowhere burn or removal, bigger body for a smaller cost, but we don't really want to be pushing this up too much more. So I think we take the Trog, or do we just ignore our rules? Our rules made to be broken. We do have 2 of those, 2 of those. Do I want either of these? Let's take the Trog. Let's stick with our rules. Okay, so we've got a 5 mana guy who's not super great. Change means attack to be equal to its health. Good with Northshire Cleric. Sort of alright with those guys, bad with that guy. Oh, I can use it on my opponent's stuff as well. Could be good with this guy. Could be good with that, not that guy. That guy. Super good with this guy. Already happening for that guy. Quite good with this guy. However, it's 1 mana. I don't really want to take the Frost Wolf Warlord, but he is a 5-drop, and I have a big old gap in my curve. Can this be a removal? No. Yep, Frostwolf it is then. Oh, lovely. Okay, so we've got bad card. Acidic Swampooze and a Gurubashi Berserker. I kind of want both of them. This guy's good because there is weapons that do turn up in Arena, and if there isn't, he is still the 2 mana 3/2 kind of, or the 2 mana 2/3 that we kind of want. This guy though, we can't really turn him on. Steady now. But we can heal him. If we had taken that Inner Fire, this could be super sweet. But I think this is a 2/7. Oh, how many picks we got left? 7. I'm gonna take this and be sad that I don't have the Swampooze when I get mushed by. Ugh, what? I've got no mass removal at all. Well, here's another 3/2. Another Shrinkmeister. Kobold Geomancer works with my Holy Smites. And that is about it, I think. I don't want another Mind Control. I know I said I wanted another big spell late game, but Mind Control is not it. The Geomancer doesn't really work with my deck, unfortunately. So it's going to be the Shrinkmeister. I think that's my last 2-drop now. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7. Yeah, I don't really want any more 2-drops. Have I picked up any decent Battlecry guys? Not really. I do have a good early game, and this guy can possibly allow me to start carrying through into the mid game. This guy messes with combat math, but he's a 1-drop. Doesn't really do much, and I'm not taking the Mind Blast. So I will take the 4-drop. I said I needed 4 drops. Oh, come on. Can you not see this mana curve? Clockwork Gnome can trade up. But again, he's a 1-drop. He heals. You kind of work together. Except you're just going to die. I think I'm going to Thought Steal. I think it was less value on the second one. But card draw wise, I mean, I think it's better than these two. I don't really know. These are both... This is not so good. This is fine, I think. I suppose this is kind of card draw. It's like half a card. I know roughly. I think there's like 6 or 7 spare parts, so I know roughly what I'm going to get. Let's take the Thought Steal. Hooray, 5-drop. That's actually decent. Yeah, I've already got a Gurubashi. I don't really want to. I'd much rather have the stealth guy. Something with stealth. Oh, Shadow Word Pain. I need something that costs 6. If I have a mech, 1, 2. Right, he's not going to be triggered. So, oh, you know what? I've had my last draft on the side this entire time. You know what? We'll leave the last draft there. So this is the last draft. We can kind of compare them, see how good we've been doing. Okay, annoyingly it's a 3-drop, but this thing is removal. We didn't get another Shadow Word Pain. Can't remember how many we didn't pick. What did we pick over Shadow Word Pain? Was it flipping Shrinkmeister? The amount that we've had. Urgh! This guy's alright, but not great, so I'm going to take the Shadow Word Death, just as... Otherwise I'm going to die. Holy fire! Hooray! A 6-drop. Bad 4-drop. Bad 0-drop. So it's going to be this anyway. But this is pretty good. 5 damage, restore 5 health. It can swing stuff around. So, how do we feel we did? Not great. Like, this looks like a much poorer deck than the last one, I have to say. I could be surprised by it, but let's go over to Hearthhead, and we're going to go build a priest deck, just so we get an idea of what we're doing. So we've got 2 Holy Smites. We didn't get any Power Word Shields. That's a big shame. Like a really, really big shame. We've got 2 Northshire Clerics. I'm kind of going off memory here. A Twilight Whelp. We didn't pick up any Shadow Word Pains in the end. Got a Bluegill Warrior. Gildin Stalker. A Shadow Boxer. Oh, we're Shadow Boxer. There he is. We got 3 Shrinkmeisters. Yes, it can contain more than 3 cards. Oh, can I not? Okay, I can't actually add that. There we go, Arena deck. It was telling me I couldn't add my 3rd Shrinkmeister, because that wasn't allowed. Stone Splitter Trog, Shadow Word Death, 2 Thought Steals, a Blackwing Technician. Have I missed anything in all that? No, 2 Death Cultists. A Jungle Panther. Jungle Panther is down there. 2 Ancient Brewmasters. Ugh. With no decent battle cries to reuse. I mean, those are, I think, just gonna outright kill me, right? Oops, sorry. Arcane Nullifier. Again, we've got no actual Chillwind Yetis. Sad times. Got Kazan Mystic. Was that the next card? Yep. A Light Spawn. Ascension Shield Master. Did we not? We didn't have any silence either. Frostwolf Warlord. Gurubashi Berserker. A Stranglethorn Tiger. It's down here. A Holy Fire. I'm just seeing so many things that I'm just like, I really wish I had drafted that or been given that option. Okay, so there we go. We've got our deck. I'm just going to quickly stick our curve into the finest of fine editing softwares. I mean Paint, obviously. No, don't save. Paste. File. Save as Arena. Overwrite Arena. Right, so this is... If I go back into the right place... Okay, let's get rid of image 2 for a minute. So this is our Arena deck breakdown. So we can see where our costs are, what we're doing, and try and work out what we're doing. So we've got, if we have a look at our general types, we've got 23 minions to 7 spells, so we're quite minion heavy. We don't have any mass removal, we know that from stuff that we're looking at before. We're going to be using our minions to trade into their minions quite a bit, which is going to be a problem for actually hitting face. We've got some removal, but we're going to be having to place a lot of emphasis on the fact that obviously we need to be dealing damage with our minions and not our spells. We don't have any spells to buff a lot of our things. We missed out on the power word shields, which is unfortunate. If we have a look at our mana curve, we have got a pretty strong, very early game, like with the Northshire Clerics. Then we've got a lot of 2-drops, 3-drops, etc. Our mid game is poor. Like our Brewmasters don't really do anything. We've got some mid game with like the Stranglethorn Tiger and the Light Spawn and stuff, but we don't have much, and we really do not have an end game. Which is unfortunate, because I think Priest wants to kind of be healing up his guys to make sure that we've got that endgame, and maybe we can eke out our guys into that endgame. If we're doing clever stuff with our hits, then maybe we're going to be able to do that. Next up, our attack. We've got a lot of 2-attack minions. Our attack is actually pretty good, like pretty varied with what we want, so I'm not too worried about our attack, and our health is actually pretty good as well. We don't have that many small health minions. We've avoided the trap of drafting loads of small health minions and then not being able to heal them up, so this kind of fits into our, we want to hit with our minions and I'm going to heal them up, and we're just going to try and maintain board control, try to not run into too many mass removals. If our opponent starts going over the top and laying minion after minion after minion, we've got no way of dealing with that. There's no way of us getting out of that. So that's going to be a problem for us. So we really need to be putting down some pressure early game and then just keeping their stuff off the board without committing too much for ourselves. We want to keep stuff in hand. We don't have much draw for our stuff. We've got the random factor of drawing from their deck. We could draw dragons from their deck, of course, and then that could be good. We could draw legendaries. We could draw a wisp, a 0 mana 1/1, which is going to be absolutely useless. So I mean, what I'll do is I'll build this deck, I'll set this deck up, and we'll get it displayed down the side again, and then we'll start moving into our next arena run. Obviously with our arena run from before, we earned 5 gold technically from our 155, so we earned 5 gold, 30 dust, our pack, which is great for us. So this is kind of like our free draft. This is our 3 arena run we can do. Doesn't really matter where we go with this. However, I'm going to set the goal again of we want to get 4 wins. We want to be trading even on that 100 gold entry, so that we technically won before. So we want to be winning about 50 gold back plus a booster, so that we're not going to be losing resources, especially since we gained enough resources on those 7 wins. I'm not really sure if this deck is even going to be able to scrape that. Like, it seems like it's going to be a poor deck. It could surprise me, and I'm not going to kind of go, this deck is going to be poor. We've got some ways of dealing with some stuff. We've got some endgame removal with the death, we've got the Holy Fire, and we've got Mind Control. Mind Control could swing some games for us, because our Mystic could swing some games for us as well. It depends on if our opponent's playing Secrets or not. But I think it's going to be a struggle. It's not going to be sort of the easy wins we had with the Mage, which was get them to 10 life and then just pyroblast them. It's going to be a much more of a struggle. These games are going to go on for much longer. We're going to have to try and keep our minions alive for longer, and some of them are not going to stay alive. We actually didn't draft that many 2/3s, so it's going to be interesting what happens, but I'll leave that for another day. Again, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will be following me on YouTube, on Twitter as well. We now have the Twitter account set up, although it's not actually auto-generating stuff, so I'm going to have to start doing that. And like, favourite, share, obviously, and I hope to see you all soon, and good luck and have fun. So long!